Welcome to the Leadership Kit. Don't take it personally. You ever had somebody say to you, don't take it personally? It's kind of like
the intro of this video.
like the intro of this video. It's like, with all due respect, like whenever someone says either of those things, they mean the exact opposite. Like, I'm going to say something that's really personal and hurtful.
Or I'm going to say something really disrespectful.
Or rude.
I think you can say with all due respect before just about anything, and it lets you off the hook, right?
Yeah, totally. With all due respect, your face looks like the backside of an ox.
We had this vocal teacher when we were in college in Oklahoma, and his name was Ballew. And
he was amazing.
He was amazing.
He's still amazing.
He grew up as an orphan. This is no joke. His life is a storybook. He grew up in an orphanage learning to play violin, and then became this musical genius and ended up teaching music in college. And he's it's incredible.
But good old Mr. Ballew would sometimes he had a way with words. He was kind of insulting. You would be doing your vocal warm-ups. You hit something that's not quite perfect. He'd say, with all due respect, Daniel, you sound like a dying whale giving birth to a large calf. And there was nothing you could say. I'm sorry, Mr. Ballew. Maybe I shouldn't sing. Oh, no, don't say that. I said with all due respect. So that was Mr. Ballew. He was an incredible teacher. I love that guy. So shout out to you, Mr. Ballew.
So today we're talking about being personal.
As a leader, sometimes you have to make hard decisions that impact other people. Maybe you have to fire somebody, or maybe you have to have just a hard conversation with somebody about their performance. And it's very natural in the life of a leader to do these things, because you're calling people to a higher standard. You're trying to take your organization to the next level. And a lot of times we expect people to not take things personally. We're like, well, I'm only firing you because you're bad at your job, but I like you as a person. So please don't take this personally. It's strictly business. Yeah. Exactly. But to that person, it is personal. Mm-hmm. If you were to tell me you're taking away my paycheck, I'm going to take it personally. Sure, you might not be firing me because you don't like me, but you're firing me because I'm just bad at my job, but I'm still going to take it personally. As a leader, you can't ever just go up to somebody and deliver bad news and expect them to not take it personally, because you're dealing with people. And people are personal.
So if you've led your people well this far, then they're probably already sold out to your vision. They're sold out to where you guys are going, the direction of your company, your team, your organization, whatever it is. And when you have some bad news to deliver, it probably hurts. It's something difficult. Even if it's not necessarily their job at stake, if it's somebody else that's losing a job, they're losing a team member. They're losing, this time they spend with this person that they're highly invested in. We need to remember, first of all, that people have baggage whenever they come into work. They have something they're going to when they leave work, when they're joining your team, that this wasn't the first thing they've ever done in their life. You need to be sensitive to them.
One thing Pastor Adam Starling used to always say to us is, you should assume that they're having the worst day of their life. You may go up to them and say, hey, I need you to grab this, grab this, grab this. And you come back 10 minutes later and they haven't grabbed it. And then you're getting frustrated. You're getting upset. Like, why aren't they doing their job? Or why aren't they helping me out? In that situation, you have to be careful how you approach someone or approach the subject, because you may find out later, after having given them an earful and disrespected them, that they just had a family member pass away, or their car just broke down, or their kids were up sick all night long. Mm-hmm. And you don't know what they're going through. So you have to remember, when you're dealing with people, everything is personal.
Right. When you do have to give somebody bad news, the first suggestion I would make is to go ahead and put yourselves in their shoes. Tell them, deliver your bad news knowing and understanding the impact it has on them, at least trying to. The empathy side of things changes everything in terms of how you lead people. If you lead people without empathy, then you're going to lead people who become calloused, who become careless about your cause, who just aren't bought in and aren't sold out to what you're really doing.
We follow this YouTuber by the name of Gerard Adams, who has a channel called Leaders Create Leaders.
He's an incredible leader who's really investing in the legacy that he's going to leave behind.
It said, don't take things personally. At first, this really felt like almost contradictory to what we believe about leading personally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we say everything is personal. And now this guy who we follow is telling us, don't take anything personally. Bells are going off in my head. Like something's wrong here. Something doesn't make sense. We reached out to him and had a little conversation with him on Twitter and told him,
gave him our perspective, you know, like, isn't everything personal? You know, like, just because it's personal doesn't mean it's right. We understand that. So it doesn't mean to get, you know, offended easily. Also, being calloused doesn't make up for being insecure, you know. So like and I just wanted to get his thoughts on it. He responded really quickly and we really appreciate that. He just kind of told us it's not about taking things personal. Like, we need to make sure we're giving things personally. But let things roll off, man. You don't have to take everything directly to the chest. You know, you don't have to take every blow right in the heart.
Just because somebody doesn't like you doesn't mean you have to let that weigh you down.
Right.
We decided that we are going to adopt his philosophy.
Yeah.
I think it's really healthy. You can't take things personally, but you have to give everything personally.
Mm-hmm. Imagine everybody has a sign on their chest that says, "Make me feel special." Even the person that you have to give the worst news to, just imagine they're wearing the sign that says, "Make me feel special." And then you realize, you know, like, you start valuing the people that you add value to. So
that's good.
So I'm going to make you feel special. I'm going to do something that it lifts you up, even in the midst of doing something terrible, even in the midst of telling you that your budget's cut in half, even in the midst of telling you that you just lost a team member, even in the midst of telling you that I've taken you off of a project. Whatever it is, I still want to do something that adds value to you and encourages you.
Speaking of budgets being cut in half, join us next week on TOK, where we talk about resources and resourcefulness.
Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Follow us on all of our social media. It's at Leadership Kit. And we're going to put a description below.
With all due respect, that's supposed to say a link in the description.
We're going to put a link in the description below to Gerard Adams' Leaders Create Leaders channel. Make sure you subscribe to him too. That guy is legit.